the 11th class for economics. Now we are starting microeconomics. So introduction is there. Now the first question is, what is an economy? This you have to read for your just knowledge. Now the topic or question starting from this point. What is an economy? So economy is a system which provide people the means to work and earn a living. So that is economic. Economy basically known as a system in which people used to earn for their livelihood. They do all the economic activities, and the people are earning money and means to work, and some means to work over there so that they can work for money. So that is an economy. This is the definition of economy. I have marked over there. This you ought to learn. Now next question is, what are the vital processes of an economy? So these are the three vital activities of the economy: production, consumption, investment. Another name of investment is capital formation. So production includes the production of goods and services in the economy. Consumption means purchasing goods and services for their own consumption, that is consumption. And now the investment or capital formation means change in, or you can say investing in plant and machinery so that they can be used for further production. So this is the investment that is for further production, is known as capital formation. So capital formation always indicate change in. That if suppose investing, you have invested in the previous year 1 crore, and in this year you are investing 1 crore more. So we are talking about the investment in economics, that is 1 crore which you have invested in only in this year. Fine. We are not taking the investment which you have invested in the previous year. So that is why I said change. So investment or capital formation is it. Fine. So these are the three activities. The question can come in 1 mark in this way. Fine. Now next question is, why we have to study economics? Why economics is there? Because there is a scarcity of resources, because resources are not in abundance. So that is why we need to study the economics. This is also the one line answer. This is also the 1 mark question can come from this paragraph. Now the next thing is, what is scarcity? Scarcity refers to the limitation of supply in relation to its demand for a commodity. So if you are saying that there is a scarcity, then you are to connect it with the supply and demand of that particular commodity. Fine. Suppose there is a demand for 1000 pair of shoes, and now the supply is of 500 shoes. So there is a scarcity of 500 pair of shoes. So you are comparing demand and supply over there. That is why scarcity over there. Fine. So in this case, scarcity, two things are compared. Which two things are compared? Demand and supply of that product. There you can see in the scarcity when the demand is more than supply. Suppose there is a demand of 1000 pair shoes by people, but the supply of only 500 pair shoes. That could be the possible supply. So now the difference is 500. 1000 minus 500 is 500. So there is a scarcity of 500 pair of shoes. That is known as scarcity. So that is why scarcity refers to the limitation of supply in relation to demand for a commodity. That is a scarcity. In microeconomics, you have to write down the keyword and all the words in the definition. Suppose if you write that demand, if demand is more than supply, that is scarcity. No, this is not the definition. The limitation of supply, you can write that supply is less than demand. Yes, supply is less than in relation of demand. That is the scarcity of a commodity. This is the right definition. You have to specify that demand and supply of which product. Specify demand of a product or supply of a product. Supply of a product is more than demand of a product. Yes, supply of resources is less than, supply of resources is less than demand of resources. So that is known as scarcity. Right? So with the scarcity, you have to write down this particular also, that limitation of resources, and there is an alternate use of resources. That is another problem. For that, why we need to study economics, that there is a scarcity of the resources, and the next thing is the resources are having a alternative uses. Alternative uses means, for alternative uses we are talking about the raw material or the basic product, that is suppose wood. So wood is having an alternate use, like wood can use for making chair, wood can use for making doors, wood can use as a fuel. So there are different alternative uses, and you have to decide that for which purpose the wood has to be used. So that is why there is a scarcity of wood, and also the alternative use of the wood. That is the problem, main problem why we discuss economics. The question will come, why we study economics? Because there is a scarcity of resources first of all, and then alternative use of resources. These two reasons are there. That is why we study economics. So why we study economics? Why economics is there? Because of the scarcity of resources and alternative use of resources. Fine. Now next problem is, what are the economic problem? So there is a, first of all, why the economic problem arise? Basically economic problems are what to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce. These are the three problems that we will discuss later on. Now what are the reasons of economic problem? Why economic problem arise? सबसे पहले है आपका scarcity of resources. Resources are scarcity. The supply of resources are in scarcity of demand. So that is why demand is more than supply. So that is why there is a scarcity of resources. And you are there. You have to go through all the paragraph. It is a basic reason for economic problem. Scarcity is universal and applies to all type of product, all type of individual, organization, countries. It applies to all. So the resources are scarcity over there. So you have to go through whole paragraph for this. Unlimited human wants, that is the second reason. Human wants are unlimited. Humans are not satisfied with one particular good. They want different things at different point of time. So that is why there is a unlimited human wants always create economic problem. Fine. Then alternative uses. Resources are having alternative uses. They are in the scarcity and they can put to many uses. Now this is the main problem for economy. So these are the three reasons for economic problem. The question can come, what are the reasons for economic problem? Then you have to write down these. 3 lines are written in the paragraph, then you can go through these 3 lines. For example is there, like petrol is given in the alternative uses. Petrol is having many uses. Petrol can for use for transport, for fuel, for making products. So there it has to be decided that for which purpose petrol is to be used. So that is the alternative uses. So these are the reason for economic problem. Now they are discussing the feature of human wants. Human wants are in the scarcity and they have resources, feature resources. They are scarcity, definitely demand is more than supply. Supply is limited in relation to demand over there. They have alternative uses. You can put these resources into many uses. So you have to choose that for which type of purpose you have to use that particular resources. Features of human want means that human wants are unlimited and they are different the priority. Every human is having their own priorities, their own want, and their wanted are limited. These two features apply on all type of resources and human wants. Now the next question is, what is the meaning of economics? Economics basically is a social science, that is written over there. This is a keyword, that it is a social science which studies the behavior of the society. And using the limited resources, they are having alternative uses, and then the goods and services which have been produced, that is to be distributed among different group of people. So 3 things are there. They are having limited resources and then alternative uses, then these are to be distributed among different group of people. So that is the meaning of economics, which cover all the things. This you have to write. I just underline the keywords which you are to write down in your answer, otherwise you won't get marks. Fine. Now the next topic is positive and normative economics. What is positive economics? Positive economics basically what is in the economy, what was in the economy, what will be in the economy. That is the positive statement. You have to go through this particular definition. Positive statement describe what was, what is, and what will be under the given circumstances. And these statements do not pass any value judgment. Value judgment means they are not giving any importance to your suggestion. They are actually telling what is, what was, and what will be. The statement given by the positive economics can be true or can be false, but you can verify these statements from the evidence. So in the positive economics, you are having the evidence. Like for example, I am taking the example of in 1991 the new economic policy has been adopted, and for major changes, for getting major reform and major changes in the economics, in the economic development of the country. So this is the positive statement, and this is right statement also, because that was happening in 1991, that we can check. Now the next thing that we can say that one child policy has been adopted by India in 1991. This is also the positive economics statement, but this is not true. So positive economic statement can be true or false also. You can verify. The main thing with the positive economics is that you can verify these statement with the evidences. That is the positive economics. And what will be, so that is also the positive economics. What was, I have told you that what is what is happening, that there is a total lockdown in the country, nobody will come outside, so that is the positive economics. But this statement is false, because nothing is going on like this in India. What will be, Chinese product will not be allowed to enter the country, that is also as a positive economics. But this is not true, because Chinese product are entering in the country, as you know. Fine with some restriction, but they are entering. Now next thing is, here you have to go through the definition. This is the definition you have to go through, positive economics, and then it avoids economic value judgment. This is the example. The question can come, what do you mean by the positive economics, and give an example. This is the definition and this is the example. Now next is normative economics. Normative economics, basically what ought to be, means what should be. So that includes the value judgment over there, that how economic problem should be solved. So there your value judgment or your suggestion is welcome over there. That is the normative economics. That there should not be poverty, that is the normative economics. So that is the value judgment, that is your opinion basically. So now the difference between positive and normative economics, meaning it deals with what is and what was and what will be. So that is basically the positive economics, and how the economic problems are actually solved. All these included in positive economics. Now the positive and normative economics difference is, it deals with what is and how the economic problem are actually solved, and normative economics what should be there and how the economic problem should be solved. So what that represent actually solved, that may be actually solved, or that can be the statement, true or false, that can be, it can be verified with actual data. Whatever statement has been given in positive, under positive economics, that can be verified with the actual data. But in the case of normative economics, it cannot be verified with any data. It's aimed to make the description of an economic activity, just to a real description is there, and there it aims to determine the ideals. Ideals means what should be, what ought to be. So these are the ideals, and they are the real description of the economic activity, what is really happening, actually happening over there. It is based on suggestion, it is based on upon facts, and thus not suggestive, but it is suggestive. Normative economics is suggestive. Value judgment, it does not give any value judgment, but their normative economics give value judgment. Now examples are there for positive economics. Prices in Indian economy are constantly rising, so that is the positive economics. You can verify with the data of price. There are inequality of income, that is you can also verify. But normative economics, India should take steps to control rising price. This is a suggestion. Normative economics, economic inequality should be reduced, that is also example for normative economics.